Today's topic for discussion is plant communities. Let us discuss about different types of plant communities. Following are the communities of various plants. Let us see first community, that is xerophytes. The plants which grow at places where there is no normal supply of water are called xerophytes. That means the plants which can grow in very less amount of water, they can tolerate to drought conditions. Such plants are described as xerophytic plants. Okay. Next community of plant, that is hydrophytes. These are plants which grow in water or in wet places. Those plants are described as hydrophytes. Hydros means water, phyta means plant. Okay. Number 3, third community of plant, that is Oxylophyte. Oxylophytes, this community consists of plants which grow on acidic soils, and those plants communities are described as Oxylophytes. Okay. Next plant community, it is Halophytes. These are plants which grow on saline soil, the soil which is having excess amount of salt, on which the plants grow. Those plant communities are described as halophytes. Okay. Next, Samophytes. Samophyte, it is a plant community. These are plants which grow on sand. Okay. Next, Lithophytes. These are the plants which grow on rocky places. They can grow on rocks. Okay. Next community of plant, that is Saxicotes. These are the plants which grow on rocks and on tree trunks. Those plants are described as, those communities of plant are described as Saxicotes. Okay. Next, Chesmophytes. These are the plant community which grow in rock crevices. Okay. Next, Cryophytes. Plants which grow on ice or snow are described as cryophytes. Okay. Next one, Corticolous plants. Corticolous community of plant. Okay. Corticolous, that means plants growing on the bars of the tree, are described as corticolous plant. Okay. Ruderal community. Plants found on wasteland and roadsides are called ruderal. Okay. Next, submerged hydrophytes. Submerged hydrophytes, the plants which grow under water at a particular depth, they are described as submerged hydrophytes. Okay. Next one, submerged floating hydrophytes. These are not rooted in mud and are completely in water. Such plants are described as submerged floating hydrophytes. Next one, submerged rooted hydrophytes. These are rooted in soil and remain completely under water surface. Those plants are described as submerged rooted hydrophytes. Okay. Next one, floating hydrophytes. Floating hydrophytes, they remain in contact with water as well as air and are found in ponds. They move along with water and wind. Such community of plant is described as floating hydrophytic community. Okay. Floating hydrophytes or floating hydrophytic community. Okay. Next, free floating hydrophytes. In this case, roots of these plants are not fixed in soil. Hence, these plants travel great distance with water. Such plants community is described as free floating hydrophytes. Okay. Fixed floating hydrophytes. Let us discuss fixed floating hydrophytes. That is, let us discuss this fixed floating hydrophytes. These plants may be fixed in mud with floating leaves or on long flexible petioles. Okay. Next one, amphibious plants. These plants can lead aqueous as well as aerial life. Okay. Next, marshy plants. The plants which need excess of water in soil are called marshy plants. Next one, physiological xerophytes. Physical xerophytes. Physical xerophyte, it is a plant community in which the plants which grow in dry soils are called physical xerophytes. Physical dryness of the soil is due to deficiency of water or physical absence of water. Okay. Next, physiological xerophytes. The plants growing in dry soil are called physiological xerophytes. Okay. Next community of plant, that is ephemerals. These are also called drought escapers or drought evaders because they escape dryness in internal and external environment. They complete their life cycle within a short wet season of 6 to 8 weeks. Such plants are described as, such plant community is described as ephemeral community, ephemerals or ephemeral plant community. Okay, next, succulents. These are also called drought avoiding xerophytes as they suffer dryness in external environment only. Next one, non-succulent. These are also called drought resistant and true xerophytes as they suffer from dryness both in internal and external environment. Okay, next slide. The microphilous xerophytes. In this case, the plants included in this group are leaves are reduced to scale-like. Scale-like leaves are present in the plants and the stem perform the function of leaves. Okay. Next, malacophilous xerophytes. These plants have fleshy leaves. Next one, fleshy xerophytes. Fleshy xerophytes, in these the stems are fleshy and the leaves are reduced to spines. Okay. Rolling xerophytes. In these plants, leaf lamina roll up in dry condition. Okay. Next one, xerophilous xerophytes. This community of plant consists of plants having sclerenchymatous layer below the epidermis to check the shrinkage and loss of moisture. Okay. Next community of plant, that is desert plants. These plants grow in very hot sandy places, mainly in deserts. Okay. Next one, epiphytes. Though plants growing on other plants are called epiphytes, in forests most of the plants grow on the branches of the large trees. Those plants are described as epiphytes and the plant community is described as epiphytic plant community. Okay, next one, Arctic plants. Arctic plants, plants found on poles full of snow are called Arctic plants. Okay, alpine plants. Alpine plant community. Okay, alpine plants, plants found on higher altitudes are called alpine plants. All these are the plant communities occur in the world. Thank you very much. Save trees, save earth.